Konami has just released a stunning collection of new screenshots from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the highly anticipated remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 from the original back on PlayStation 2. These images give us an exciting glimpse into the reimagined world of this classic game, officially titled Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. In these screenshots we see Snake in various states of battle readiness, ranging from fresh and ready in new camouflage to bloodied and topless, showcasing the intense situations he will face. The attention to detail is remarkable, with Snake's appearance reflecting the harsh conditions of his mission. The images also introduce us to a handful of enemies and give us a peek at the revamped user interface, which has been modernized for a smoother, more immersive experience. One particularly exciting update is the improved access to the survival viewer menu. For those who were concerned about the inconvenience of changing outfits in the original game, the new system is more streamlined, making it easier to adapt to Snake's gear on the fly. Plus the first person mode is back and it's even better, offering players extra precision when they need it the most. So let's dive into these screenshots and see what's in store for us in this next chapter to the Metal Gear Solid series.
So, any codec moments from you, Snake?
Okay, so the first screenshot we get is a cool look at Big Boss and the level of detail on his character model. And it seems since we've last saw his appearance they have tweaked it a bit more to make it look like the man himself. It's nice to see the realism of the mud sticking to his skin and the reflective light coming off the mud, giving the impression that it's still very damp. Screenshot appears to be the cutscene that appears as it's just before we rescue Sokolov when Snake scouts Razvet.
This is great! And the next one is...
And the next image is at the very start of the Virtuous mission after a botched Halo jump. Big Boss loses his backpack and needs to retrieve it. What more can I say than this game looks absolutely stunning. There isn't one detail that's out of place, the textures and the environments look like we're in a jungle. We can even see the vines that we used to climb on the tree, which wasn't really well textured or crafted in the OG. It really holds up nicely.
This is great!
And on the bottom corner of the screenshot it appears that the health bar has moved from the left side of the screen to the bottom middle. As we go later on through the screenshots, there's probably a good reason for that, as I will demonstrate, although chances are we can actually tweak about with it on the settings.
What's next? You're a pretty good photographer.
So the next shot is a beautifully detailed image of Big Boss in his olive drab uniform whilst wearing his Halo jump gear that he's just jumped out from the plane, just as he lands into Selenoyarsk, ready for his ultimate mission.
And the next one is... This is great!
Now we get a beautifully crafted image of Big Boss who has just put a KGB soldier to sleep with the MK22. Even now this game has become a lot more realistic and graphically attractive, it still holds them little elements that make it a Metal Gear game, such as them Z signs above the soldier's head, and looking at further inspection too we can see the camo gauge percentage is right next to the health bar. Not too far from the equipable slots from the interfaces. They look just like the older ones, but far more polished. This screenshot is a great perspective into the improved first-person experience. Considering usually MGS is a third-person game, it's thanks to games like MGS2 that took this feature and ran with it. Since then, later in the series, that has been incorporated in games like Metal Gear Solid 3, 4 and 5. But just look at the detail. I can't wait to play this game in a 4K resolution on an OLED monitor with 250Hz. My eyes are going to be bleeding, but boy will it be worth it. The details in Snake's thumbs, the blade of the grass, the sheen polish of the gun, the smoke at the end of the muzzle. It just looks all the more intense as soldiers are gabbing around in alert mode in combat situations. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be planning to be far more stealthy in the remake.
This is great! And the next one is...
This is the next image and it's in the heart of Razvet. We can already see the injuries that Snake has sustained, and above the platform just like before in MGS3 you can roll it down the stairs, giving the enemy soldier an explosive experience. It also appears to the right hand side of the corner Snake has got the M37, which is actually located in that area.
You're a pretty good photographer.
Up next is the codec call feature, which looks really impressive. We get a better glimpse of Major Zero and it's fair to say this old British chap is looking sharp. Being a former SAS and all will do that to you. but as you can see that there isn't much difference from the original, but it's greatly polished, and there is still the option to pick through different images of the characters on the codec. Everything's refined, and you can even pause the codecs now, I think anyway. Now this is what a lot of the fans have been waiting for, especially those who love MGS5 and more modernised style games that don't take up any time to access. This screenshot is amazing, and we can finally access the camouflage menu with a quick access button without having to open a survival viewer, which is truly incredible and a smart feature. Once again, the Unreal 5 engine is showcasing its prowess in graphical features. The camouflage function seems to be easy to navigate as well, with the side-by-side showing what's a better camo for our current environment.
This is great!
And if you thought that was great, then that's not all. For all those who were complaining about the codec calls and how they take you out of the current experience, well, that seems not to be an issue anymore, as it appears that one can still be in the game whilst receiving these calls, as also being able to heal using the healing radio function. It appears that we can switch between different codec calls, such as SIGINT, Zero, Paramedic, and even use different radio functions, such as calling in airstrike, or even cancelling in alerts, or perhaps maybe you just want to find a song that you can relax to. Konami hasn't transitioned Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater into an open world format like Metal Gear Solid 5. According to sources, players are still moving between familiar areas, Dramuchi South, Dramuchi Swampland, and Razvet, each separated by loading screens just like in the original game. The placement of key items such as the SVD Sniper, the XM16E1 assault rifle and the M37 shotgun remains unchanged, as do the enemies in their patrol routes. The only noticeable difference spotted so far in the addition of the new collectible alongside the original Karotan frogs, players can now find little orange Gakko ducks scattered throughout the game. Shooting these ducks seems to unlock items later on, adding a fresh layer of exploration and discovery.
Okay, now we have all the photos. Snake, the speech is about to wind up. Forget the photos and get out of there now.
So please consider subscribing to the channel for anything Metal Gear Solid. This is the place to be. And leave some comments down below of what you make of this news, and if you are excited to relive this experience once again. Well, I'm the Voice Box, and until we meet again.